Okay, folks, we're going to do the second part in this series of working on the Tablesaw dovetail sled. And I'll show you what I'm going to do to lay out the fence, which this is going to be the fence, and it's going to go on this dovetail sled. And this fence also needs a slot in it like this to hold a hardboard insert that slides in here like this, and nice tight fit, but still loose enough to be able to pull out. And it needs to be flush with the front of this thing, so the table saw is going to have to be the exact right height. But I want to lay it out on this board here. And I'm going to be using this board. This will be the bottom of the board that goes against the table saw blade, but it'll be the front of the board that the piece mounts to. And so the way I'm going to cut these grooves in it is I need them to be dead center. This little slot needs to be dead center of this board. And that way I can cut one groove, flip it around, cut the next groove, and keep and do all the waste by adding 1/8 of an inch to the distance from the fence to the center each time until I get the entire groove cut out. And getting the depth of that groove is very critical. The depth has to be exactly the same thickness as this piece of hardboard right here. And it just needs to be flush, where as you move your hand across it, you couldn't tell the difference between this piece and this piece right here. You wouldn't be able to feel that. So that's got to be a very accurate measurement, and we'll go through all that in the next little phase of this audio. So right now I need to get this board centered. I'm using my little center ruler right here. It's got a 0 in the middle, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 out to each side. And this is not long enough to reach the edge of the board, so I'm going to use my tri-square here or combination square here to mark 6 inches in. So I'll put this up at the top where it is, and I'll put a pencil mark 6 inches in there, and come on the other side and put a pencil mark 6 inches in there. And what that's going to do then is allow me to reach those pencil marks on each side. And so if I look at this and I hold it, looks like each one is close to 7, so I'm going to go a 1/16 less than 7 and a 1/16 less than 7. All right, so it's actually not quite a 1/16 less, so I need to put that little 1/16 mark on either side of the pencil mark. And now I have this thing centered up in this board, and I can mark my 0 point right here. So I'm just going to put a little dot right there that marks the 0 point, like that. And then I'm going to need to go 1 inch on either side of that, because it needs to be 2 inches wide. So here's my mark for the 1 inch right there, and here's my mark for the 1 inch right there. So those are the 3 marks, the center line, and then the 2 inches apart like that. So I'm going to take this little tri-square, put my pencil dot on the first mark, slide my tri-square over to the pencil, and now I can make a mark there, put my pencil mark right here on the other side, slide the tri-square over to it, and there it is. And now I think I just want to have a center point. I don't think that's necessary, but I'm going to do it anyway, just so I can see how close to the center I'm getting. And now I need to take these marks and I need to transfer them down this edge and down this front here. And I've got a little tool here to do that. This is just a spring-loaded saddle square. And I can slide this over to the edge of that mark right here. So I'm going to put my pencil right here and then push this until it touches the pencil. All right, now it's touching the pencil, so this won't move now. And I can put that mark right here and right here. So now I've just transferred that pencil mark all the way around accurately to each side there. And so now I'll do it for this one right here. I'm going to find my pencil, slide it over to the pencil. Find my pencil, slide it All right, the pencil just fine if I hold it at that angle. So I'm gonna tilt it just a little bit like that. Tilt it just a little bit like that so the pencil's close to it. So that looks like it looks good there, there. And I'll be using this front mark on the saw gauge as a matter of being able to do this. It looks like I didn't get that line going all the way down, so I'm gonna get that just with the pencil on it. And there it is, it goes all the way down. So now I'll be able to put the edge of the saw blade once I get the height set on a scrap piece of wood, and we'll go from there. So this thing's ready to start cutting. I'll be cutting this side right here because I've got these two marks over here, and that'll make sense to me. Actually, I'll be able to erase those marks with a sander or eraser in just a moment. So stay tuned for the next set. I'm going to have it set up over the table saw, ready to start setting the blade height properly on a scrap piece of wood, and then we'll actually measure over and make the cuts all around it. So you'll see all that.